Welcome to day 5 of the 7 days of movement. Today we are going to talk about stronger abdominals. So your abdominals are not just your six pack, it is your obliques as well, which is the side line which creates your waist. Okay, so that like corset effect. So I'm going to show you some basic ab exercises that you can do. Some of them isolate the upper abs, some of them use the lower abdominals and back, so you've got that co-contraction once again. And also a lot of the time when we're working our abdominals, I want you to find that stabilization within your pelvis, but I'll talk about it now when we go into it. So what I want you to also think about is when we go to the gym and we're doing these what they call crunches, which is my absolute worst expression of this exercise, because crunch makes you think of just crunching, like that's what it is. The word says what it says. But we do, in Pilates, we do this thing called a chest lift, which is a crunch, okay? The reason I like this term better, obviously, because you're lifting your chest, but it's also when we do this movement, you want to think more about the length and the space you're creating in your body instead of just going into this tension and crunching. So you think about it when you do a sit-up and it's hard. You just think about pulling yourself. What I want to invite you to think about in this is think about using your breath to help you, finding the connections in your abdominals to lift you up, okay, instead of just pulling on your head, neck and shoulders to lift you up. So actually bring your mind to your body and see, okay, this needs to be my six-pack working, what am I lifting up, where can I adjust slightly? Be aware of what is happening within your body, okay? And then when it comes to the lower abdominals, it's generally us working with our legs and moving from our legs. But if we don't have a stable pelvis and all of that, then we start working into our spine and then we can cause injuries there as well. And when we're going into the obliques, you want to think of a neutral pelvis, meaning both hip bones are down and not lifting with you, otherwise you've lost that connection as well. Also, I will show you adding legs and head, neck and shoulders coming up at the same time and finding that stability. Okay, so we're going to lie down on our mats. You're going to bring knees in line with your hips and feet in line with your hips, so just feet flat, and you can roll down to lying down. You're going to, let me talk about neutral pelvis, so hip bones, pubic bone on the same plane, so if you're tucked and if you're not, if your tailbone's down, then you're out of neutral. You want that same plane with your pelvis. Okay, so just so you're finding that stabilization in that part of your body. You're going to interlace your fingers, place your hands behind your head. And I want you to see your elbows out the corner of your eyes. So just in your peripheral vision, carefully you're not too high, carefully you're not opening too wide, especially if you're hypermobile. Slide the shoulder blades down the back and allow the shoulders to come out of the ears. But as you lift into your chest lift, I want you to keep your shoulders out of your ears, but allow your shoulder blades to slide on your back, so you're not rigid. I mean, you are coming up into flexion. Your shoulder blades can't stay down, but you don't want them to pop up. Okay. So it's just like a sliding motion. Push the feet down. And I want you to start feeling like I'm pulling you from a string from the top of your head. Your head is heavy in your hands like a coconut in a hammock. Okay, so if you're not pulling to get yourself up. So this is your neck. All your neck is going to do is be able to hold your head up. It's not going to pull you up. The movement is going to come from the abdominals. So from here, I want you to inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to find connections, ribs together, belly button to spine, married into the hips, and lift the pelvic floor. This is all like a split second before you actually start the movement. So you're going to inhale, then exhale. Start that connection, start that breath, and think about length through the top of the head. Keep the tailbone down as you come up into your chest lift. You're looking just over the knees, in between, tailbone down. So if your tailbone isn't down, this will start to happen, then you're gripping into your hip flexors to make you feel like you can come up, and then there's all this tension and all of that. So try and keep the tailbone down, okay? So releasing into the hip flexors, belly button pulled down towards the spine. So you don't want to be bulging up here, belly button in, pelvis stable, head heavy in the hands like a coconut in a hammock. Think about inhale, deepening it, even if you're not going higher,
pull that belly button in, coming up, shoulders down and away, and then exhale, coming down. So even the down, even though we're coming down, it's not just drop, it's this lengthening of the six-pack to come down. Okay, interlace your fingers again, sorry, and then exhale, head, neck and shoulders coming up. Inhale there, and exhale, come down. Inhale, and exhale, coming up. See how you can find better movement. See if you're pulling on your head. Be aware of what's happening in your body. See if you can send that tailbone down, even if you're struggling with it right now. If you need to work on it, you need to bring the focus to it, bring the mind to what's happening, and then come down. Let's do 4 more here. Inhale, exhale, head, neck and shoulders coming up. Lift that pelvic floor at the same time. So pelvic floor is coming up, but tailbone is not coming up. Okay. And come down. Check that the head's still heavy in the hands like a coconut in a hammock, especially if you struggle with this tension in your neck and your shoulders. Pull the belly button down towards the spine. Last 2, inhale, exhale, coming up. So the shoulders are out of my ears, not up here. Elbows are in my peripheral vision still. And come down. Last one, inhale, exhale, head, neck and shoulders coming up. See if you can deepen it, pull that belly button in towards the spine more, and then exhale, coming down. We are going to go into rotation, meaning we are working more into our obliques, so opposite rib is coming towards the hips. I want you to focus here as well on keeping both hip bones down at the back, the same on the mat. Okay, so careful that you're not lifting up as you rotate. So you want to keep the hips down, legs in, knees in line with the hips, so legs are in that line. Still interlacing the fingers, hands behind the head. Your elbows, you want to see out your peripheral vision once again. You're going to inhale there and you're going to exhale, head, neck and shoulders are coming up into your chest lift. From there, and I'll pause, we'll go slow in the beginning. From there, inhale and exhale, rotate opposite rib to hip. If you want to know if you are in the right space, grab the outside of your legs here, reach it, deepen it, see if the hip bone is down. So you're looking diagonally forward, so just past your quad. It's not to the side here. Okay, so just past your quad, interlace the fingers again, take them behind your head, see that spot, keep the hips down, belly button to spine, inhale through the center, and exhale to the other side. Keep this height through the center, exhale other side, keep your elbows open, reach that hand there, deepen it, see, corner back just past the quad, grab the hands behind the head, see that spot, feel that spot, inhale through the center. Come down, let's try it with just the hands behind the head. So you can already feel those abdominals connecting and engaging just from that small, slow movement. Okay. From here, inhale. Exhale, head, neck and shoulders coming up. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Looking just past. If you need to keep checking, you can. Just take your hands there. Inhale through the center, keep that height. Keep the hip bones down, rotate. Elbow open. Inhale through the center, exhale, rotate. Inhale through the center, exhale, rotate. Shoulders down, away from the ears. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Inhale in the center and exhale coming down. Well done. So that you could feel isolating into the upper abs, finding that rotation within that movement. So we're going to work with our lower abs now and our lower back, finding that pelvic stability as well. And it will be working hip flexors and that as well, so just be aware if you're feeling it here, it's totally normal. So let's start lifting one leg to tabletop. I'm just going to show you the movement on each leg and then we'll make it a little bit harder. So tabletop, bringing your knee above your hip, and foot directly out from your knee. Pelvis in neutral, and you can also check the space between your ribs and your hips to check that it's they're even on each side. So if sometimes you might feel that this leg that's up, you might shorten into here. So just square off into that pelvis. Hands are down by your sides, and you're going to exhale, lower the toe down, keeping the knee the same angle. You're moving from your hip, stabilizing in that pelvis. So this lower abdominal needs to connect, and we lift up. As you lift up, also be careful you don't tuck your tailbone up. Okay, so it's stable pelvis, lowering the leg, finding those stable and supporting from the lower abs. So what happens, I'll try for you here, what happens if you are moving in your spine is you've lost the engagement of the abdominals. And you might even injure your lower back because your spine is going like this without support. Okay, so it's really about finding that stability. You don't have to take the toes all the way to the floor. Okay, so if you feel like this is where you can go, that is where you can go, that's absolutely fine. And check that you're not just kicking the leg out like this. Okay, that knee stays the same angle, at that 90-degree angle, and you're taking it away from the hip. Okay. Let's swap sides, so place that foot down. Check that your pelvis is square. Lift the other leg up, belly button in, and take one leg down at a time. One leg down at a time, there's only one leg up. Take the toes down. And let's do 3 more here. Just so you feel, maybe one side feels a little bit weaker than the other side. Arch in your lower back stays the same. And 1. Okay, you're going to leave this leg up at tabletop now. Now find that stability, so pull the belly button in towards the spine, take the shoulders out of the ears, and lift both legs up. So now as we take both legs up, and we're going to alternate legs, and then we're going to take both legs down at the same time. Just pay attention to what happens in your neck here. Okay, so if you start tensing, really try and release that tension in your neck, because a lot of the times, because we haven't used and we haven't found our connections in our abdominals, we tend to find all our strength from this tension that's up here. Okay, reaching those fingertips towards. We're going to alternate legs. So pelvis neutral, belly button in. You can feel already that it's a little bit harder for your lower back and your abs to engage here. Lower one toe down. Lift it up. And then other side. Lower it down as far as you can. And lift it up. You can exhale down, inhale up, or change it around. Just make sure you're breathing and not holding any tension. And just check what's happening up in the shoulders and the neck. Okay, now you can, if you want to progress from that, you can bring the other leg down as you're bringing the other one up. Feel how those abdominals need to engage. So if you feel your back starting to go, think about deepening the connections in the abdominals in the lower back. Change. Let's do 2 more here. And last one. Okay, from there just hug your knees into your chest. Just release the hip flexors. And now we're going to take both legs down at the same time. So we're aiming to get our toes to the floor, but you don't have to get your toes to the floor. So knees above the hips, shoulders down and away. Belly button to spine, arch in your lower back stays the same. Lower the toes down and lift it up. As you come up, check that you're not tucking the tailbone up towards the ceiling. You want to keep that pelvis neutral and keep pulling that belly button down and in. So you're knitting the abdominal muscles like this. Watch out you're not bracing them up, which means that there's like a bulge here in the middle. Okay. So lower down as far as you can. If that's as far, that's good. That's where you must go to start building the strength. You can exhale down, inhale up, or inhale down, exhale up. Just see what proves to work for you. Okay. So also avoid tensing. Yeah. Rather find that connection and move less. Okay. You can hug your knees into your chest. If you do those with straight legs, so lowering one leg down, lifting it up, it's a little bit harder, especially as you go to both. Okay, so you can progress in that way. Obviously, just watch what your lower back is doing. Because if your lower back is doing that, you've lost the whole connection in your abdominals. Okay, from there, we're going to do legs and head, neck, and shoulders up at the same time. So a perfect Pilates exercise is single leg stretch where this shows it. And I want you again to focus on that stability here in your core. Okay, so bring the knees, hug your knees in. Take your hands onto your knees. You're going to inhale there and exhale. As you push the knees into the hands and the hands into the knees, your head, neck, and shoulders will kind of come up. Pull that belly button down towards the spine. So now, as you take the leg out, watch what happens here. So try and support it as much as possible. You inhale there, exhale, take one leg up, pull the knee towards the chest, shoulders down. Keep the support here, and then change. So if you are going all over the place here, you're going to lose the connections and the stability here. Okay, come down, just hug it in, inhale, exhale, head, neck, and shoulders coming up, pull the belly button towards the spine, hold. And we exhale, take it out, short inhale, exhale, take it out. So find that support. Try and keep your feet on the same plane So like you're lying underneath the table and you're scraping the underneath side of the table. Energy through the legs, pull the belly button towards the spine and stabilize in that pelvis. And for 2 more. And 1. Bring knees in, head, neck and shoulders down. Okay, so that's a simple head, neck and shoulders up with the legs moving at the same time. So you've got all the connections, lower abs supporting you, upper abs working because you're in that flexion, in that chest lift. From there, you can also do isometric movements of the abdominals, which means it's holding the abdominals up in that chest lift. You can add legs as well, and it's to build stamina. So it's called hundreds. If you really struggle, you can bring your legs down to the floor. Hands up, palms facing the front, shoulders down and away. Otherwise, if you can, you're starting with your legs in tabletop, and then you can take your legs out to wherever you feel possible. So if you feel like you need them on the floor, keep them on the floor for now. You're going to inhale there. You're going to exhale, head, neck and shoulders are coming up into your chest lift chair. So you're going to place your hands like they're on springs. If you want to keep your legs in tabletop, you keep them in tabletop there. You can lengthen them up to 90, or you can take them down to 45 or lower if you feel that you can. Okay, so this is where the stamina comes in. You inhale there, you exhale, pulse the hands, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see, I'm pulsing in the arms and not forward and back. So this stamina is holding up, holding those abdominals in that position without moving up and down, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. If you struggle with your neck, keep trying to pull up and rather do less. So rather, instead of doing the whole 100 counts, which would be 10 counts of 1, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're literally going to do maybe 1 set. Maybe that's where you are. Start with the legs down and then pulse and see where you can go. Rather do what you can with the proper placement and the proper engagement, then try and force it through the whole hundreds, and you're halfway down, you're falling like this and going all over the place. Okay, so just work within it here. You're pulsing from the arms, connecting into those back muscles, and pulse here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Wherever you want to hold your legs for, and in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it back and down. Hug the knees and relax. So those are some abdominal exercises that will strengthen into your abs, working from upper abs, finding that stability in your pelvis, finding your lower abs and your lower back, which will support the pelvis as well and support the spine, making it easier to lift up and hold yourself up. So remember, even just growing tall, your abdominal muscles need to engage. And then also finding that stability in your movement, so coming from the right place. Rather do less than doing more and falling all over the place. Finding length in your body instead of just scrunching it all the time. And finding strength and losing this tension in the neck and the shoulders. So those are building stronger abs. Do what you can and start where you are. And make it worth it for you. Make it work for you. Don't always think about what other people are doing. Literally, if you do 1 today and then 2 tomorrow or 2.5, whatever it is, progress with where you are. Start with where you are and do what you can. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.